vendor request process that we've created within Intacct. So we've had a few different clients that would like to put in their request for a vendor and not have that vendor created until it is approved by someone with a higher permission set, to make sure that we're not getting duplicate vendors in the system, or that we're not putting in a vendor that's someone's personal account, just for a control in place. So what our team's come up with is a record request process. And that's what we're looking at here in Intacct now, is you're clicking on record request, vendor request, and we'll add a new one. And I'm just going to add Adam's tree service, last name Smith, first name Adam, 299, name ATS LLC. You can go ahead and assign the 1099 type, so miscellaneous. In this one, we're going to go with other income. Add the tax ID. Any of these fields in red are going to be required for the record to be saved. So 74 dash. And I'm going to want the status of this vendor to be active, so I'll leave that as the default. You can go ahead and choose a vendor type, and these are all based on the types in your vendor, the standard type object. So this could be any number of things depending on what your line of business is and how you classify your different vendors. Put in other here. And then we're going to define the preferred pay method. So in this case, they prefer to be paid by credit card. If it was ACH, you could enable ACH payments and go ahead and enter the routing number and account number for review as well in this process. I'm going to go down and add the address. It's going to be in Austin, Texas, 88701. Then we're going to add an email in for the vendor. Just going to add my own demo email. And then we'll add a phone number here. And as you can see right below this field, it's showing what format it wants it in. So we have some validation in place. So you're making sure to get the information entered into your records in consistent ways. So if I had not had the parentheses here or left out the dash, it would give me a error message, and I'd have to come in and fix the data before it saves. And then down here, we have a couple of different ways we can attach notes on the vendor. We can add their W-9 form, or add ACH backup if we have an ACH form that they filled out that says that we can send them ACHs. I'm going to click choose ACH or choose file here. It pops up my browser window to find a file. Got a sample W-9 I'm going to attach. And then I'm going to review. It looks like I've completed all the required fields. And click save. Once the requester hits save, this is going to go into a queue. It's also going to send out an email to the person assigned in your system and let them know that a new request has been submitted. I'm going to pop over to my email. And this says new vendor ready for review. Just came through. And here it says Adam's tree service. So it looks like I had a couple of different ones that were created today. This newest one is Adam's tree service. It gives me the name, and it gives me a link as the approver to go in and directly connect to where that is in Sage Intacct, review it, and then go through the approval process. So jump back over to my demo environment. When you hit that link, you're going to come into a screen like this where it gives you some workflow actions. You can choose to approve or decline a vendor. You can view that vendor request. So I can come in here and say Anna's Ice Sculptures. Oh, you know, I know we already have this person in our system, or maybe I don't think that this is the correct vendor. There are two. We really want Elsa's Ice Sculptures, but someone's entered Anna's incorrectly. I can either do decline from the screen, or I can do it from the list view. Hit decline. We need Elsa. Click yes. And now that person who submitted that request is going to get an email that says, your request has a change in status, and go take a look. And so they'll be able to see that comment, the note, and then edit accordingly, or delete out the request if it was incorrect. I'm going to go back to the vendor request list view. And now we're going to look at Adam's tree service. Let's say as the approver, you go in and you view Adam's tree service. Everything looks correct. You can tell that there is a W-9 attached. You can view that W-9 from here. And now I'll click approve. I don't really need to make a comment, or I can leave this one blank, click yes. And now I'm going to go in and look at where Adam's tree service has actually been created as a vendor in our UI. Go to accounts payable, vendors in this other tab. And let's start typing Adam. And there we've got our brand new vendor, Adam's tree service. I can click to view. And it's pulled over all that information from the submission request. Once it was approved, it created it. And we can look through the different tabs. It has the 1099 information that we entered, the tax ID. Here it shows the selected preferred payment method was not selected on his, that was not added. You may ask, why couldn't someone just come in here and create a vendor the usual way instead of forcing someone to go through the workflow of the request? And we've put a smart rule in place with a hidden field so that if someone did decide they had permission and wanted to bypass that approver process, they can come in here and try, say, Sydney's Lawn Mowing Service 2. And then when they go to do that and click save, they're going to hit this prevent vendor ID from being added in the UI, and that's going to force people to go through the vendor request workflow. Reach out to Sockeye if you have any questions or want some further information on this tool. Thanks.